Hey sinners, it's Syntria. Today I wanted to talk about herbs. I was just thinking of what is something educational and interesting that I know something about that I could share with you guys, and also scrounge some stuff together to make it look like I have some content and I know what I'm doing. So herbs and spices is what I came up with. I keep checking because this is a camera I had a while back, and I keep looking to make sure it's actually working. Hi baby. All right, so first off, I am curious, and this is a challenge. I don't expect anyone to do it, but if someone did, that would be awesome. I want you to take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want you to post in the comments before watching the rest of the video and name what all of these are. And then reply to your comment after you finish the video and tell them if you got, how many you got right. So we've got this guy. Then we've got this guy. Let you guys get a close up. Pretty set up. This guy is the one I assume most of you guys are gonna recognize. And we've got this guy. I promise most of you have had this a lot more recent than you think. That's my cat ripping up some junk mail. Then we've got this guy. He's not very pretty, but he is tasty. All right, have you guys written down what your guesses are? Stop it. My editor will edit that out, maybe. Maybe. Okay, your guesses? All right, so this is oregano. This is broadleaf sage. This is basil. This is cilantro, also known as coriander. And this is rosemary. All right, I grew the sage from seed. This is what it looks like as a baby. This is a baby sage. Steak and butter, that's a really good use for this. We have, well, none of the other stuff I have from seed. So the sage, oregano, you know, a lot of Italian dishes are gonna have it. Basil, you know, put it on some mozzarella pizza, some caprese, some mozzarella tomato, and basil. Pretty much any kind of Italian dish is gonna have basil in it. Cilantro or coriander. What else do you guys know? Think. Salsa. That is where you're going to get this. A lot of people really associate this flavor with sort of a Mexican sort of flavor, a Spanish flavor. And then we got rosemary, potatoes, rosemary, olive oil, and potatoes. That's a really good combination. So how it looks dried. So right here I have two. So I have ground coriander, and then leaves of cilantro. And I'm pretty sure this is also cilantro. I could be wrong. Coriander seeds could be celery seeds. No, they're not. This is the same plant. And then your rosemary is just gonna look like these little sprigs when it's dried up. So I wanted to talk a little bit about these guys real quick. I have two others, and this is a mystery, and I'm curious if you guys can figure out what it is. So I planted both of these, right? And I didn't keep track of where. So this is lime basil, and this is stevia. And then this guy came up, but two of them didn't come up at all, and I didn't label them. So this, I would be curious if any of you guys can do some research and figure out if this is stevia or if this is lime basil. Bit of a challenge for you guys. All right, so, and one more, let's finish up what I've got here. Finish the introductions. This right here is chamomile. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Get it up in there. Close enough, you get an idea. There we go, sort of. So that is gonna be chamomile, which I also grew from the seeds here. And this little guy, thyme and oregano, always kind of mix in together for me. We got this right here. He's little bitty, so that's some thyme. All right, so let me put these seeds across. So what do I want to talk about? I don't know. I'm kind of winging it here. So you can grow these at home. Your basil, to really do well, needs some sunlight. Most herbs do need a couple hours of direct sunlight. Most of them thrive best with full sun. I am recording a video. He doesn't care. Rosemary, I've actually killed rosemary. Rosemary is the #1 plant for me to kill. You can overwater it, underwater it, but one of the main ways it dies is either from mold, from lack of air circulation, or from lack of sun. It requires a lot of sun. So I've got a sunny window I keep it under, and I actually have over here I have a grow set up where it's just a single row of lights. You know, it was like 20 bucks, something like that, and that lets you grow all sorts of good stuff. I wanted to actually, I thought about reading like a book, like I was like gonna look through cookbooks, but I might do that next episode. That was my cat going under the camera. Hey, that's a carpet, stop it. It's not for you to scratch up. All right, so let me actually look up these and let's talk about these 4 since they're the one that we got the plants out. So let's start with oregano. Assuming it's in the book, I don't know if it is. Assuming it's even in alphabetical order. We got ginger, vanilla. Do you guys know that vanilla is from an orchid? You know, you see the orchids in the grocery stores. A lot of people are a big fan of orchids now. They used to be a trash plant. Nobody liked them. But yeah, they're the bean of an orchid plant. Sesame seed, sumac, pepper, allspice, poppy, nutmeg. Also mace, which is the thing that coats the nutmeg, which I thought was interesting. What am I looking for now? Oregano? That's unfortunate, but it's not in there. Now I'm not sure what to do. Medicinal herbs. Uses for medicinal herbs. Pretty much every herb is in here. So we'll look at this guy real quick. Okay, well we'll start with rosemary because it's the first thing I pulled up. Rosemary. I must admit, I have some preference for this herb as it is my namesake. Oh, the person that wrote this, his name is Rosemary. I'm named after my 2 grandmothers, Mary Egikomnoff on my mother's side and Rose Carr on my father's side. And the names seem to stick and grow with me, or I with it. In any case, under the careful guidance of my grandmother, I followed in her herbal footsteps. Rosemary, the herb, is native to the Mediterranean, grows freely in much of southern Europe, and is cultivated throughout the world. Its genus name, Rosmarinus, means dew of the sea, in reference to the plant's natural habitat on the warm, sunny hillsides bordering the sea. So there's some culinary uses for it. You can make some tea with rosemary. Apparently it's, you drink it as you please. You infuse it and it's mildly stimulating. Brain tonics, essential oils. So now we got some sage, so we're moving on over here to sage. Sage is another remarkable culinary remedy, as valuable in the medicine cabinet as it is in the kitchen. I'm gonna learn something with you guys. I've used sage for all manners of home remedies over the years, from my famed good gargle for a bad throat, to remedies for hot flashes in menopausal women, for uncomfortable night sweats in men, and for nursing mothers ready to wean their toddlers. It's one of those safe, easy to use, readily available remedies. Most people have sage in the garden or in their kitchen cupboard, waiting for that one big meal of the year when it's brought forth and to stuff the bird. My cat's attacking me. Yes, that is what's happening. You go over here. Something about stuff the bird. How unfortunate this herbal remedy is so often ignored. What can you do with this? Good for gargling for a bad throat. Sage mouth and throat spray. Sage pesto, that's interesting. Thyme, which is what I've got here, which looks very similar to oregano. Growing thyme. Thyme is a hardy perennial that seems to thrive in most climates, although it prefers well-drained alkaline soil and a sunny location. Seeds can be sown directly into the soil. And stuff and useful information. And you can make syrup with it, apparently that's nice. It's good for coughs and colds. You can make thyme honey. Hey, are you taking a seed packet? What are you doing? That's not yours, that's not your time. He took the time though. He took the time to take the time. Got some turmeric in here, there's some ginger, garlic. You know, garlic's apparently the cure for everything. Here's some basil. Holy basil, there's a big section on basil. Basil! With over 150 varieties grown around the world, basil is renowned for its distinctive flavor, scent, essential oil, and healing properties. The kind typically found in the kitchen is sweet basil. Octumium basilicum. I said that right totally. Its genus name, okium, derives from the ancient Greek word for smell. Its species name, basilicum, is also of Greek origin and means kingly or royal herb. Indeed, basil was once used in salves, prepared for royalty. Also valued by us common folk, basil has enjoyed an enduring popularity in both the kitchen and apothecary. I can't say that word either, but it's a really cool word. Growing basil. Sweet basil is an annual, easy to grow but sensitive to cold weather. Seeds can be sown directly in the soil after temperatures have warmed to at least 50 degrees, or sow seeds indoors in flats to get an early start. These are sun-loving, warm weather plants, so grow them in fertile soil in full sun. Set or thin plants to 6 to 8 inches, stuff. Okay, so that was your little intro there, because that's all I could find. So, I want to know from you guys, I want you guys to comment, what other herbs do you think I should grow? And what are some of your ideas for using this? And my biggest one, who here knew what these already were? I think it's really important that we know where our food comes from. And I mean, herbs it's a food. It's something that goes in your food. It might not be something you probably survive on. I don't know if I could live off of sage leaves. But it's important to have some connection. That's why I enjoy growing stuff so much. It's not so much even the healthy factor of it. You know, I'm growing my own food. It's more nutritious. It's healthier. I know what went into it. It's more the satisfaction, making something from nothing. It does something for me. I get a really deep satisfaction from it. I do wish, Texas is pretty rough to grow stuff in, especially on a balcony, because I'm used to deploying a drip system in a yard. But again, I may be getting a house early next year and I will start that up. I'm also considering, since we're already chit-chatting about all this, I guess I am thinking of starting some pepper plants indoors this year. This is my seed box. It actually had a lot more seeds, but I went through and threw away any seeds that were over 3 years old. But this, I probably had 200 seeds in here at one point. So I got cat grass, I got a lot of different greens. Here's some, just some jalapeno peppers right here. So pepper plants take a long time to grow. Generally you want to start them indoors 8 to 10 weeks before you even put them out. The hotter the pepper, generally the rule of thumb is that it grows slower. I'm a really big fan of cherry tomatoes. They do really well down here in Texas, I found. They've done better for me than any other plant. So I've got a lot of different tomato plants in there. So probably in January, February, I'll start some tomatoes. I may start as early as November or December, start some pepper plants. Because I can put them out as soon as it starts to warm up, which will be March, April, I think, somewhere thereabout. So I think that kind of wraps up the weird little random video I was thinking for you guys. I'd love to do some question and answer videos. So that would be fantastic. This is my foot, if you're wondering where this appendage came from. So question and answers. So you could ask me what was the most difficult thing you ever grew? What's your favorite thing to grow? I used to have a pond. You could ask, I don't know why I'm asking myself what I think you guys might ask. You could ask, I grew up in Alaska. You could ask me something about recipes, how to make good pizza, how to make bread. I'd love to do an entire episode on bread, making it, but also just sitting down and looking through the book and talking about it. This gives me a crutch, it gives me some free resources because I really do want to provide something useful. Again, since this is also a vlog as well as sort of trying to do a little... Okay, so if you looked at my last vlog, which will be right here, how can I make a square? There we go. So if you click here, you can watch my vlog on my CSA, my farmer co-op share. I think it was from Jason or Johnson's backyard garden. I'm probably saying the name of them wrong. But anyways, you'll see all the stuff I got. And I've made multiple pizzas. I've had peppers and zucchinis for lunch and breakfast many times. What else did I make? I had roasted beets, which was delicious. So I still need some more ideas to use up my sweet potatoes, the eggplants. And another thing I made is I made collard green chips, just like you would take kale and you rub it down with oils and bake it and make kale chips. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you're not already. That if you like food or growing or cats or chicks that talk about themselves a lot, follow me on Instagram. So Instagram.com/synfoods. Sorry, the camera's moving. That's my cat. And so what I post there, Instagram.com/synplay, not synfoods. I post what I'm eating as I'm cooking, just because I'm not very good at organization, and making videos takes a little bit of preparation, and I'm trying to get out of the need to prepare too much for it, 'cause I'm very organic. I like to do stuff spontaneously. I'm like this, you know, I didn't plan on doing this. I just came home and was like, I want to make a video. Oh, I got plants in the window and I got them dried, and seeds and books, and that looks cool, and maybe I could say something useful that somebody cares about hearing. Or maybe not, maybe not. So if you're new to my channel, you know, if you hit the subscribe button, I'm sorry, because you'll probably get more videos, and I don't know if you want that or not. Your thumbs up, comments, the whole shebang, you know, comments mean more to me than the other stuff, but it's just, I like to interact. I like to experience stuff with people. I really like to bring stuff to people. And doing all that's gonna help me do more of it. So this is Syntria signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodaloo. So cut, take 700, not really.